Hello, welcome to the teaching overview for Caesar, selections from his Commentarii De Bello Gallico by Hans Friedrich Müller. This text contains all the lines from the Caesar portion of the AP syllabus. The preface and introductory notes give a general overview of the selections in Latin prescribed by the AP syllabus, including the readings from books 1, 4, 5, and 6 of Caesar's Gallic War. In addition, a section on how to use this reader discusses the layout of the Latin text, vocabulary, and notes, and how it works in the classroom. The introduction gives all of the background students need to begin reading and appreciating Caesar's Gallic Wars. It provides several sections, including one on Julius Caesar, politician, general, and author, and subsections therein Caesar's life, Caesar's legacy, Caesar as an author, and the chain of command, Caesar as general and the Roman army. It also contains a section on an overview of the Gallic War and a select bibliography for further reading. The introduction is 23 pages long. The book contains 8 maps. Some maps are general overviews of geography, as you can see on the left, and others are specific illustrations of things Caesar describes in the course of his narrative, as you can see on the right. Each of the 4 books included in the AP Latin syllabus and in this text begins with a short English introduction. This introduction helps students have context as they begin their translations. In addition, each of the 4 books in this text concludes with a short English conclusion, letting students draw parallels between what they have read and other portions of the text. For example, as you can see here, we describe how, after Caesar finishes his discussion of the customs and religion of the Gauls, he turns to the Germans. This is what they have just read. It then tells them that they will find the details in the translation of Book 6 at the end of this volume, a feature we'll discuss later, which is the complete English readings the students are also expected to read for the AP syllabus. Since the AP exam expects students to be able to draw comparisons both between different parts of the text of Caesar and even between Caesar and Virgil, this is an excellent feature to help students begin making these connections. The main body of the book contains on each page the Latin text with vocabulary and notes below. The Latin text itself has in italics any word that appears on the high-frequency pullout at the back of the text. This helps students realize which words they ought to have memorized. The vocabulary is listed separately from the notes for ease of reference, and the notes refer to the appendix for grammatical constructions where appropriate. Beginning on page 199, this text contains the additional English readings required by the AP syllabus and exam. These readings have several features. Each one begins with a brief historical context, as you can see here on the right. On the next page, I will show you English summaries of the passages the students have already read in Latin and the literal English translations as prescribed by the AP syllabus. As you can see here, on the left-hand side, the students have read or will read, depending on when the teacher uses this, Book 1, sections 1 through 7. These portions, which the students have read in their entirety in Latin, are translated and summarized here in italics. Then, beginning on the right-hand side with Chapter 8, Caesar prevents the Helvetii from passing through Roman territory, literal English translations are provided as per the requirements of the AP syllabus. An appendix on the figures of speech illustrates the various grammatical and rhetorical figures which Caesar employs. This contains not only a listing of the figures with a definition, but also examples drawn directly from the text included in the AP syllabus. In this way, students can learn about these figures of speech and find them in their actual readings. At the very back of the book is a pull-out high-frequency vocabulary list. This is specially designed to be unfolded and able to be referenced and seen in its entirety while students are utilizing the rest of the book. As mentioned earlier, words on this list are italics on the page of the Latin text as a way to visually cue students that they ought to have them memorized. Finally, there is a teacher's guide which matches the text. The guide includes an introduction addressed to teachers. In the main body of the guide, you'll find on each page the Latin text, 2 different literal English translations of Caesar, discussion questions to be used with your students, AP connections questions, which are questions that specifically address the need for students to draw connections between their Virgil readings and their Caesar readings on the AP exam, and a large print version of the Latin text without macrons, without notes, which can be reproduced and used for tests. This large print Latin text is also available for download from our website.